You ever have that weird moment where you're just sitting there, maybe in your bed, maybe on your couch, phone in hand, and there's this tiny voice in your head that whispers, "This ain't it." Not yelling, not dramatic, just a quiet truth. And you scroll anyway, because honestly, facing yourself is harder than facing the entire internet. But then you land here, on this video, and for some reason, you don't click away. Maybe it's because something in you knows it's time. Time to stop lying to yourself. Time to stop making excuses sound like logic. Time to stop waiting for some magical version of you to appear and do the things that this version of you keeps postponing. I know that feeling. I've been there. And not like once. I lived there. That place where you wake up already behind, where everything feels like a maybe, where your potential becomes this haunting, floating ghost that follows you around saying, "Oh, hey, remember me? Let me say something that took me way too long to understand. You're not lazy. You're scared. You're overwhelmed. You're tired. But you are not lazy. You care deeply. That's why it hurts. That's why you keep making plans. That's why every failed attempt hits harder. Because you want it. You really want it. But wanting it and showing up for it, whole different worlds. You ever told yourself, I'm going to start fresh Monday? And then by Tuesday, you're already rebranding it to maybe next week? And somehow that loop becomes your life. You're always on the edge of change, but never stepping off the ledge. And here's the thing. That moment, that jump, it doesn't need to be some big cinematic leap. Most of the time, it's just a quiet decision, like brushing your teeth while crying because you don't know what else to do. But you're trying. That's brave, by the way. No one claps for that stuff. No one sees it. But that's where the real fight is. Let me tell you a story about this dude. Yeah, we'll call him Eddie because I like the name Eddie. Eddie was a dreamer. Not in the I want to be famous way, but in the I want to build something real way. He had notebooks full of ideas, sticky notes on his mirror, alarms on his phone with motivational quotes, his Pinterest board, inspiring as hell. But when it came time to start, Eddie always had a reason. I just need to do more research. It's not the right time. I need better gear. I'm not in the right headspace. And on and on. Until one day, nothing was left but excuses and dust. He looked around and realized all his plans were still plans. The only thing he'd built was a wall of later. And that wall, it kept his dreams out and regret in. You know what the hardest thing to feel is? Not failure, not rejection, wasted potential. The kind where you know that you're capable of more, but you keep hitting snooze on your own life. Not because you're broken, but because no one ever taught you how to push through the pause. Here's the truth nobody sells you on. The moment you finally get sick of your own excuses is one of the most powerful moments of your life. That's when things get real. That's when the mask comes off. That's when you stop pretending and start confronting. You get tired of hearing yourself say the same things every year, every month, every Monday. You get exhausted by your own potential just sitting there, mocking you. And you hit that place where you're like, all right, enough. No more negotiating with fear. No more rescheduling my growth. You think you need motivation? Nah. You need a move. One move. Tiny, clumsy, unimpressive, but yours. You need to do the thing before you're ready, because that's the trap. We think we'll feel ready one day. Like one morning, we'll wake up glowing with confidence, stretch like a Disney character, and just go crush it. But the truth, most of the time, you start scared, you start confused, you start with doubt screaming in your ear. And that's fine, because the courage isn't in the outcome. It's in the act of showing up anyway. Let me say that again. Courage isn't about feeling fearless. It's about doing it even though your hands are shaking. And yes, you will fail sometimes. You will mess up. You will have days where the old voice creeps back in and tells you, see, this is why you shouldn't have tried. But that voice? That's just fear in a cheap disguise. And you've outgrown it. Let me tell you something I've never said out loud before. There was a time in my life when I didn't trust myself anymore. I had bailed on my own goals so many times. I started thinking I was just the kind of person who never follows through. Every new plan felt like a joke. I'd say I was going to do something, and even I didn't believe me. That's a hard place to live. Like being stuck in a body that won't move the way your soul wants it to. But then one day, and I don't even remember what triggered it, I just got angry. Not at anyone else. At myself. Not in a toxic way, in a I'm better than this kind of way. In a tired of shrinking myself kind of way. So I did something small. So small no one noticed. But I noticed. I got up and took a 10-minute walk, no headphones. Just me and my thoughts. That walk changed something. Because it wasn't about fitness, it was about keeping a promise, a small one, but a promise to myself. And when I got back, I wrote down 3 words. Keep showing. Up, that became my thing. No matter what, even if it sucked, even if I hated it, even if no one clapped. I kept showing up. And slowly, that trust started to come back. That energy, that belief. Not the loud Instagram kind, the quiet kind, the kind that sits in your chest and says, we're not done yet. You don't need a life overhaul today. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need a miracle. You just need movement. One action that says, I'm back. One act of defiance against the version of you that gave up too soon. It can be ugly, it can be late, it can be imperfect, but let it be real. So if you're still watching this, and I know some people already clicked away because this was too real, but you didn't, that means you're ready. Maybe not ready to win the race, but ready to start walking. And that's where the magic happens. No more someday. No more when I feel like it. No more, I'm not good enough yet. You are. Right now. With the fear. With the doubt. With the mess. Because guess what? Messy progress still moves you forward. And no one builds a legacy by waiting. So go. Start something. Pick up the notebook. Put on the shoes. Say the scary thing. Hit upload. Send the application. Film the video. Write the song. Start the thing. And when the excuses come back, because they will, look them in the face and say, not today. I've got something to build. And remember this, you don't need more time. You need less hesitation. Start now. Start messy. But for the love of everything you've been dreaming of, start.